Hi, Brandon Hardison, president of Champion Strategies, with our ongoing workshop on public speaking. Because many of you out there want to get into the game, and we're going to give you some ideas of how to do it. Today, I'd like to talk about tips that'll help you crush your next presentation. It's going to take a while to do this, so I'll do it in parts or days. So I want you to imagine that it's no easy feat to stand up in front of people, whether it's 50 or whether it's 500. In fact, surveys have found that public speaking has long been one of the things Americans fear most. Unfortunately, in many professions, some amount of public speaking is necessary. It might be that you need to present in small meetings, give an update to an entire company, or present at a conference or other events. No matter what it is, how daunting you find it, there are steps that you can take to improve this public speaking opportunity. So before you even get up there, so much of what goes into public speaking happens way before you step in front of the room. Preparation, practice are always the key. But here's what you can do in advance to make the actual speaking part as smooth as possible. Understand the expectations and learn the details. In other words, gathering all the information regarding location, technical setup, time you'll be speaking, the dress, the topics, what to include, what to avoid, the type of presentation. All of these things you should have discussed already with the person who asked you to come in and speak to their employees or their students. You'll know something about that. Having all this information ahead of time will help you prepare a presentation that fits the occasion and resonates with the audience. It'll also help you avoid technical or logistical snafus that can add up unnecessary stress. No one likes to be under a whole lot of stress when they still have to get in front of a crowd. You need to know your audience. It's important to understand who the audience is. What are they there for? What is the subject to be discussed so I can start tailoring my presentation accordingly? And don't forget the explosion points, those takeaway points, those things you want the audience to do immediately once they leave the room. If they start implementing them immediately, there's going to be a change for that corporation, for that organization, for that school, for that teacher, whoever it may be. We had talked to a third place winner, Josephine Lee, in the 2016 Toastmasters World Championship of Public Speaking, and asking her about where she puts her emphasis when it comes to the audience, giving the same speech to two different audiences. She'll take time, she told us, to customize it. She always asks herself, what is this specific audience and why are they there? So, for example, the toast you'd give to an engagement party among all of your college friends might be pretty different from the speech that you'll give to the same friend's wedding in front of a whole extended family. Or in a professional content, imagine you're giving a presentation about the future of your company. Now, that would look really different depending on whether you're talking to a group of executives from your own organization versus a room full of college students who are interested in getting into the industry. For one, you might drive in the nitty gritty of the last quarter's performance and share your insights about what changes your organization needs to make to remain competitive. But on the other hand, you probably zoom out a bit more, giving an intro to your industry and sketch out what your company does and where it's going. Once again, the audience is very important. We need to know who we're speaking in front of. Now, another thing, plan, structure. We can talk about giving a speech to an audience, but if you do not plan and structure your speech to that tailored audience, it's going nowhere. Another gentleman from Toastmasters, who was one of the winners, stated that teaching how to write a speech is different than actually giving the speech. Both of them, we need to be at 100%. But once we know what we're talking about, we don't have to be rigidly stuck to those notes. I can improvise, impromptu, bullet point some of the key things I need as I go through. Lee also picks up one central point when she talks about whether she'll be speaking for 5 minutes or 45 minutes. Big difference because she'll present her central theme if I have more time. And if I don't, I just need to hit little bullet points that people can research a little bit later to go to. Also, if you're using AV, some slides, a PowerPoint, don't overload your slides. If you're using slides, remember there is just an aid. There's nothing worse than have an audience sit through an 80 slide presentation when those 80 slides are not needed. Beyond the simple fact that people will be distracted, squinting at a tiny screen, trying to look at some font type. Be careful when you do these things. Why not use slides primarily as a visual complement to your words, your tools, a summary, if you will? This will get you a lot more out of it. Once again, Brandon Hardison, President of Champion Strategies, with our ongoing series of public speaking. And this is just the end of the first part. In the next series, we'll pick it up again. Once again, as always in parting, you go out and you make it a champion.